Welcome back to the In the Clinic podcast with Rob. And if you are wanting to know how to decrease your anxiety right now in 2024, as the new year has flipped over, you're past all of your resolutions, have you kept them? If that gives you anxiety, stick around. If you find yourself building anxiety and throughout the day and you're not sure how to manage it, stick around. We're going to give you tips today in this podcast/video. So, what's new overall? In the clinic, we're crushing it. We've got an awesome crew that's building harmony with our clients in the specialized strength fitness component. And then we also have on the physical therapy side, occupational therapy side, we got people that are absolutely crushing helping our patients overall. So how is that integrated? How is that integrated? Well, we've got Jody that just came aboard not too long ago, and with our veteran Doug. And they're both personal trainers that are making a difference in people's lives. And we really take people, once they're done with physical therapy, and they've already made improvement, they've already had an impact in their health from their fitness, their shoulder pain, their back pain, neck pain, whatever it is. And we take them from that moment and advance them into a wellness program. And for a lot of individuals, they want to improve their wellness overall. They want to improve their fitness. They like having more energy. They like having a better sense of health. So what we truly do is then take them and integrate them from physical therapy over to our personal training side. And we develop full programs for them. So the best way that I could say this is that when you're over in our physical therapy side, we're helping to repair what's broken. And then when you move over into our specialized strength side, we're helping to rebuild you. And once you've been repaired and rebuilt, now we can really redefine what's possible in your life, and the sky's the limit. At this point is where you can start advancing in your life the way that you want to live, with more mobility, more strength, more balance, more function, more ability to just make the most of the day. And that's really what we're looking to do in our holistic approach to the way that we take physical therapy and jazz it up and make it awesome. So all in all, today we're really talking about anxiety. And the reason we're talking about anxiety is because it can build. And it can come right around the holidays, because you go through the holidays and you kind of let your guard down. You eat differently. You have holiday food. You have family and everybody comes in. You take more time off. And all that really does is build to where eventually you have to come back. And you come back to your reality, which is work, which is, oh, my pants don't fit the same. Ooh, I better get back onto my fitness routine. All of that starts bubbling up, and it can lead to anxiety overall. So if you're out there right now and you're going, man, I find that certain times during the day I get more anxious. There's certain times where I get super frustrated. I feel tension in my neck. I feel an upset stomach. I can't sleep at night. My mind races. Well, today we want to give you tips. So today I'm going to give you 10 tips that how you can use really mindfulness to advance your life by decreasing your anxiety. So let's get right into it. 10 tips to use mindfulness to help decrease your anxiety. Let's go with number 1, which is simple, something that you can do, and it's go for a walk. And it sounds super basic, but the root of anxiety is that you're sitting in decisions that haven't been made yet. You're worried about the future that hasn't been decided. And from that worry, it builds and builds and builds and gives us anxiety. So if we can create action in what we're doing, there's a greater chance that we could decrease our anxiety. So how do we create action? Well, movement. Get out of the house and go for a walk. The sunshine itself hits vitamin D. It changes the body hormonally to where A, you get more production of a lot of your essential hormones. It changes your mood. B, you get around nature. And there's plenty of research that's coming out that talks about what nature does for mood and your own mental health. And then 3, you're doing something physical. So by doing something physical, it's going to naturally release dopamine. It's going to release neurotransmitters to the brain, serotonin that's going to give you a boost in mood even hours after you get done with your walk. So at a minimum, start right from the get-go going for a walk. Second thing that you could do to help with your anxiety is something that we don't always think about, but doodling, coloring, or doing some type of activity that doesn't require a lot of thought process. So if you do an art project, start painting. They also have diamond art that you can do, that you could start putting diamonds on a color by number type of an idea. So it's essentially a blank canvas that has all of the areas that you're supposed to put a diamond, and when you get done, it has a beautiful masterpiece to it with all different colors. So a diamond art could be something that doesn't take a lot of thought, and you could do it over and over, but what it also can do is you can have people help you with it, and that creates a social environment. But when you doodle, draw, color, this really starts putting you out of your thoughts and into the activity that you're doing. So you're creating action again. So the second way that you can help drive down anxiety is doodling, coloring, drawing, diamond art, any of those. Some people too would be crochet, knitting would count as that as well. The third way that I have to really assist you in progressing with decreasing anxiety through mindfulness would be box breathing. So taking breaths overall can be stimulating to the body. We spend a lot of our day just lightly breathing, we don't fully get a deep breath all the way in. And when we don't do that, we're not fully expanding our lungs. We're not getting the same level of circulation. We're not getting the same level of oxygen perfusion up to the brain. And what they find is when you actually do breathing exercises, such as the box breathing that I was talking about, you actually get more to the brain that releases some of those happy neurotransmitters. You get a different change in serotonin and dopamine release just through breathing. So you can use a box breathing technique, which is a count of 4, which is you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4. You're going to hold your breath for 4. Then you're going to breathe out for 4. Then you're going to hold your breath for 4. And you could do this for about a 10 count. This repeated cycle of breathing allows you to be more mindful of what you're doing. It allows you to sit in what you're actually doing at the time, and it helps remove yourself from all the external forces of the world. It allows you to just be in tune with your own self in the moment. Breathing in through the nose, holding, taking in that breath, breathing out slowly, feeling that release, taking that out. So that's an excellent way to help use mindfulness to reduce anxiety overall. So the fourth way that we can help is to find a way to either express gratitude or joy or happiness for somebody else. Now, just thinking about joy, gratitude, happiness can stimulate an improvement in anxiety. And it's really weird. You just think about somebody in your life that you're going, man, I want this for them. And you visualize it for them and you hope for them, something that's good for them, something that you want to create happiness in their life. You don't even have to tell them. You don't have to share it with them. You don't even have to talk to them. You don't have to text them. You don't have to be on the phone with them. Simply thinking about how you want to increase happiness in their life changes the game. It changes it for you. It changes your anxiety levels. So by either being grateful and expressing gratitude for what people have done for you or do for you, or by generating in your mind how you want somebody else to be happy and think about their happiness, it changes it. Now you get double, triple, quadruple points if you could take somebody you're annoyed with, that you're upset with, and you can wish happiness upon them. Now you're becoming a master. Now you're becoming a master. So the fourth way, express happiness or gratitude for others. it's going to pay you way more than what it pays them to do that. The fifth way that you can help decrease anxiety is by doing one thing at a time. A lot of times we look at multitasking as a positive thing. We look at it as something that allows us to be more efficient, allows us to get more done throughout the day. But a lot of times what it does is creates more stress, more worry, and a lot more things that fall through the cracks. And when they fall through the cracks, then we feel like we're not successful. We feel that we're a failure, that we can't keep our stuff together. But really, if you eliminate multitasking and just do one thing at a time, it allows you to isolate on that. You'll truly check it off your box, and then you can move forward. And then overall, you're happy that you got maybe 4 out of 5 things done instead of looking back and you've got none of your things done because you're trying to do them all at once. So taking one task at a time can be really efficient in lowering your anxiety because now you're accomplishing things, which gives a great satisfaction, dopamine release for people to cross things off a list and say, done. And that's why people write lists, and that's why people like putting things on a list just to check them off, because you get a little stimulation and a little reward by doing that. The sixth way that you can help improve your anxiety through mindfulness is journaling. By getting things out of the brain onto paper, it truly makes a major impact in your own wellness, your own mental health. Even if the activities are never read again by you or anybody else, it doesn't matter. Taking it from your brain, putting it on paper, has been shown to help dramatically improve your sense of happiness and decrease your anxiety. So overall, this is an excellent, excellent way that you can do for free. Putting down, just journal your day, journal what you're happy for, journal what you're grateful for. By putting it on paper, it reinforces the positive energy that you want in your life. Because a lot of times in anxiety, we create a negative loop. We constantly think about everything that could go wrong and why it might go wrong, or all the worst case scenario with our kids, our family, or our own health. And by doing that, it reinforces a negative loop that leaves us unhappy overall. So by journaling what you're grateful for and the positive things in your life and the things that you're hopeful for, you can manifest your future in a positive way. So number 6 would be journal. Number 7 is kind of a different one, but I would encourage you to do one of two things. Either log out of your social media apps, or take your phone and put a setting on there where you can turn it to black and white. So why? The whole key is that we know that enough social media activity, the more that you utilize it, the decrease your happiness is. We are creatures of comparison. We'll compare ourselves to others, and from that, we're going to drive down our overall happiness. So the less we're on social media, the better we will be overall with our own happiness. So I encourage you to log out of your apps. Any of your social media apps, log out of them. That requires you that every time you want to look at a social media app, you actually have to enter them in, which makes it harder for you to access, which means that daily scrolling, mindless scrolling, that's 30 seconds while you're waiting for your cup of coffee or other, it's not utilized. You can use that for mindfulness, gratitude, and appreciation for life. The other thing you could do is you could take a setting on your phone and you can turn it to black and white. And I'll tell you what, when you start watching Instagram in black and white, it does not hit the same as when you're getting that full color. So it decreases your threshold for wanting to consume more and more. So number 7, log out of your social media apps or turn it to black and white screen. The 8th way that you can decrease your own anxiety is to give to others. So you can give to others your time, your money, or your attention. So by doing acts of service. So you can do this for people, and it serves you multiple ways. Other people are super grateful for you. They're happy that you did that. You get affirmation from them because of it, but it also feeds you, because when people are very pleased with the person that you are and how you're helping them and make an impact in their life, what occurs? They tell you. So you get paid twice by giving to others. And again, one of our strategies for getting rid of anxiety is action. So by going and getting out of your own head and going helping others and putting other people first, it tends to dull our own mental need cycle through all the things that possibly could be wrong in our life. So number 9, getting on the earth. So part of mindfulness is letting everything slow down and take in your surroundings. Live right where your feet are. Well, the best way to do that is to take off your shoes, take off your socks, and actually touch the earth. What I'm talking about is grounding. And grounding has different principles to it that we create a charge inside of us already, and by touching the earth, it grounds our own being. Just like what happens when you have a house connected to electricity and everything has a ground wire that goes down into a rod into the earth to ground it, so we don't get excess electrical charges. Well, that can occur with us as well. That creates disruption in our own lives. So by getting out for at least 5 minutes, touching the earth with our skin, sitting on it, touching the earth with our feet, being present with the earth has research backing behind it that helps you with your own health issues and your own mental health. So number 10, write a letter. This is a great one from our friend Jan, who expressed when she received a letter from a friend after her dad died and what that impact meant to her life, that somebody would take the time to send a letter. So we live in a day now where everything's a text message, everything's a video chat, everything is an email, everything is so instant that you can get a hold of somebody at any time, which means that a lot of the socialization we get is not impactful. Anything that can be done with ease and it can be done quickly doesn't always hit the same. But when somebody sends you a letter in the mail that's handwritten on it, that went through and put your address on it, your name, and wrote out in it, and actually purchased that card and put it into an envelope and then took it to the mailbox and mailed it out, it shows way more effort that somebody truly does care about the person you are, which then generates a greater sense of connection. So all in all, write letters for people. Anytime you're feeling anxious, get it out of your head by putting your pen to paper. It creates action, and start telling people just simple things of how you appreciate them in your life, the way that they've impacted your life, or how they inspire you. By doing this, it pays you tenfold back as they express how thankful they are that you sent them that letter. So all in all, I've got 10 ways right there that we can make the biggest impact in our anxiety through mindfulness. We'll go through them real quick. Go for a walk. We can look at doodling, coloring, drawing, diamond art, any of those. We're looking at box breathing, so focusing on your breathing. We've got being grateful or being appreciative of what people do for you. You have taking one thing at a time, one task at a time. We're looking at journaling. We're looking at logging out of your social medias or turn it to black and white screens. We're looking at giving to others of our time, money, or efforts. We're looking at grounding ourselves with nature and getting our feet on the ground. And then number 10, we're looking at write a letter to somebody. So all in all, there's 10 different strategies you can apply right now. If you're sitting there starting to build anxiety, you're worried about your future, you're worried about your family, you're worried about your health, you're worried about your job, you're worried about your fitness, you're worried about your weight gain, you're worried about everything under the sun, as that starts to build, think of these top 10. Start going down and applying one at a time and see the impact it makes in your life when that ugly A word starts pulling up, anxiety. Tackle it by putting that A into action. Take your anxiety, put it into action, and see the beauty in your own life on how it will make the greatest impact to help decrease your stress and decrease your overall anxiety. So all in all, thank you for listening and watching today. If you like this episode, share it with somebody else. And as always, either leave me a comment or drop me a like. And we love hearing from you, because you make this show, make this podcast, make this YouTube video the absolute best part of our day. See you next time.